too close, I think. Where was I? Finally, here it is, and I've been wanting to do this sit and talk video. I think it's been ages that I wanted to do this. So, finally, here it is. I quite like this setup, I must say. It's just that the curtains are not really supporting, they are not well behaved, and so are the guys in my life. So let's talk a little bit about the teas. Well, I'm a little distracted right now because I kind of look pretty on the camera, so I am liking it. But any which ways, let's begin with a little chit chat. So I was listening to a tarot card reader right now, and the lady over there says that it's the right time. I'm supposed to be bringing changes in lives of people when it comes to love. I am supposed to motivate people, but me, I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, to an extent. I think in one of my previous videos, I've said that I kind of, motivate people. People kind of like listening to me, and you know what? There's been so much that's happening, and there's so much that's happened already over the past few months, I must say, and yeah, so the last time in the videos I was in Bangalore, then I had to move from there. That's a long story, we'll cover that some other time. So I started working in a company in Kolkata when I got back from Bangalore, I mean, and it was going quite well. So there was a training period of about 1 month. So after the training, when we were moved to the floor, that's when the story begins. So I come across a guy, very decent, very well mannered. So the very first day, me and one of my friends, so we were sitting side by side, and this boy was sitting right, opposite to me, and he was facing the other side of the room, and we were, me, I don't really entertain guys. I'm not into getting attention, because there's so much attention that I already get. I was trying to not get attention for the first time. That's one of the reasons why I ran from Bangalore, because I mean, I started feeling that people prey on my energy. And when I say prey, it's PREEEY. So sorry, it was the first day, and we were waiting for somebody to come and walk us through the itinerary for that day, when that guy suddenly tries to initiate a conversation with the girl next to me, I mean the friend, right? I did not want to even look at his face. I didn't want to listen to whatever they were gossiping on. I mean, probably he was just introducing himself, and I automatically knew that it was just a way to get my attention or to grab my attention. So well, I turned around after a while, and he asked my name. We introduced ourselves, and that's all. That was pretty much it. Cut to day two, when we meet again, starts or pushing us to have him with us for the breaks, for the lunch breaks, or for the personal times. So he used to tag along, and me being me, I was kind of a people pleaser. I was like, okay, he can just tag along. But that continued, and that increased, that went to an extent where he started playing some mind games, like, this place is not a good place to work. I've been here for 6 months there. So I started probably giving in to his idea of the place not being good, the management not being good. So what happened is, over the time, I got to know that he was working with TechM. So he said that there were openings at TechM, and you could come and give it a try. So I was quite confident in myself, and I've always been very confident, right? Cut to the second month. So I remember I worked in this company in Kolkata for only 3 months, wherein 1 month was the training period, and the other 2 months was the actual time when I've tried working in that workplace, right? So, in a very brief period of time, that guy had completely taken over my own identity. He tried manipulating me to extent so where I didn't know if I was right or he was wrong, because I remember he started calling me. So he took my number. Initially, all this started with just LinkedIn. So I was confident that this guy will never really try to hit on me, or to try all that crap. And I was quite happy with him in the beginning, thinking that he was a gentleman, and for the first time, I've got a real friend and all of that. But seems like I was wrong, and he tried. So he tried becoming friends. All right. Cut to second month. So we were already in a good talking phase, right? He used to. So on the way back home, it takes about 3 hours for me to come back home. We had cab facilities, and yet because of the traffic, it used to take so long for us to get back home. So the entire time he used to be on call with me. So I used to think, okay, he really cares, but that kind of was annoying. My mom often told me that, you know what, so he was from Bihar, and if you know, you know. I mean, I'm not a racist, but we Bengalis have a certain thing towards Biharis. Not that I knew it in the beginning, but now, cut to a year, I think I'm also against a typical culture, typical upbringing. So I am not quite fond of that. So, any which ways, we started talking, and he was there on the call all the time. I was so annoyed at times. I wanted to really talk to my mom. I really wanted to talk to my other friends on the way back home. But he, trust me, he did not give me that time. I initially thought that he is okay, he's possessive. Cut to the second month, he already proposed to me, and he says that he wants to marry me. And from day one that he's seen me, he has fallen in love with me, and he wants to marry me. This and that, and this and that. So, only stories, all right, only big talks. I was still dumb, and I was being sold to whatever he was saying. Moving on, referred me to Tech M, and not that I really wanted to go to Tech M because it was in Pune, but I wanted to get rid of this job. So yeah, at that moment it was a quick job for me. He referred me, and I could crack the interview very easily. Again, very good at cracking interviews. I'm very good at what I do. I'm very good at sales. I'm very good at comms. So yeah, it was pretty easy for me. Meanwhile, his interview, they didn't want to really rehire him because TechM has very clear policies that they are clearly against rehires. So sorry, my hair is flying in the back. Okay, so just give me 1 minute. Let me just pull everything over here. Right. Since I believe they already got a hint about us, and they agreed to take him or to hire him. And I'm pretty sure it was because of me, because my interview went so well that they had to hire him. He can just thank me. If you are watching the video, Mr. A, you know who you are. If you ever come across this video, you can thank me in the comments section. And yeah, that's all. Any which ways, we are not in talking terms anymore. There's a long story behind it. So we get through the interview, and very quickly all this happened. Moved to Pune from Bangalore after 9 whole years, in which I've done a BTech over there. I've worked in so many companies. I was in love with the city Bangalore, but because of several reasons, I had to uh, quit that place. But I was in shock when I actually, when this thought dawned on me that I had to go to Pune. So I remember my parents were really happy because, of course, it was Tech Mahindra. It was a very big brand name, and very quickly everything was arranged. They had arranged the tickets and, a stay for me over there in Pune for 2 3 weeks. It was a very pretty hotel. I was in shock when this thought dawned on me that for a guy whom I knew only for like 2 months, relying on him, I took such a big decision and I decided to move out of my hometown and move to a completely new city. In the beginning, trust me, now that I think of all that, I I really think that I've made a fool of myself. But those days it never really felt like that. It felt like he's one of the best guys that I could meet. He was there with me like 24/7. He did not want to leave me at all. So it felt great. It felt like finally, probably, I've met the love of my life, the person who's gonna marry me, because I've always wanted to marry. I don't like this dating world much, right? Because he was so caring. He used to, he used to bring band-aids. He's got me such sweet gifts. I've got few gifts that I still carry with me. Those were gifted by him to me, so I still have those gifts. In fact, I'll never throw them because I've wasted my life. I've wasted my few precious months of my life for him. So I'd rather keep at least the gifts that he's given me. Anyways, I was so much in awe. During that phase, I was always talking to my mom. In fact, he was taking good care of me. He used to be in contact with my mom. So whenever I didn't have my dinner, he used to call up my mom and say, "Oh my God, your daughter, आपकी बेटी ने खाना नहीं खाया, आपकी बेटी ने ये नहीं किया, वो नहीं किया." It used to be good when जब इतना कुछ होता है आपकी लाइफ में, when so much is happening, so much good is happening, you really think कि इतना मतलब why is he being so good, right? Why is it being so unnatural when you're in a committed relationship? Having fights or fighting with your other person, fighting with your other half is quite natural, and I would say झगड़ा हमारे बीच कभी हुआ ही नहीं. We would never used to fight. Even if I sometimes used to fight with him, he was so good at handling my anger. I'll be honest with you guys, he was really good at reading mind. I would say he was really good at analyzing people. He used to understand my mind so much. If I was angry, if I was annoyed, if I was irritated, or if I was hangry rather, to know everything beforehand. And I felt like this is the love of my life. But it's been 8 months that I was in Tech M. Over the 8 months, I have worked with him. We were in the same training batch. We were under the same manager for quite some time. The people in Tech M were lovely, but after a month or so, when from the training we moved to the floor where we were actually supposed to work, that's when all this started. He used to make sure that no people could come around me, no guys could come around me, and he had a very subtle, a very straight face. He never smiles, he never cries. Well, I wouldn't lie if I say I would lie if I say he never cried. He cried several times in front of me. But now when I think back, when I go back in my when I try to recall everything, there was so much that was happening that now when I think, was he really crying? Well, no. He was just trying to gain some sympathy, or he was just trying to keep me with him, that's all. Which I am fine with. If it's your girlfriend or boyfriend, you're supposed to, make it work. You're supposed to fight the entire world just to keep that one person in your life, which is completely fine. But then you cannot keep, or you cannot take that person away from the entire world and keep him or her for just yourself, right? That is not fair for the person, I would say. So that started happening with me. He manipulated the entire floor in such a way. And the there's things that now when I talk of, I want to say, but I don't know, I might sound mad, but from the very beginning, since he was a rehire, he was very well known at the inside the premises, right? So everybody whoever saw the both of us, and he was very out there about our relationship, very weirdly, there were people, and not just one, but if let's say, if there are hundreds of 100 people in the department, 99 of them has said to me that, hey Moshri, I think you're doing I mean, why are you even dating that guy? What did you see in him? Well, I don't know what I saw in him. I really wanted somebody to understand me because of my previous relationships. I mean, while there was a reason, as I said, right, that I moved from Bangalore to Kolkata. I just wanted somebody to understand me. I wanted somebody to, you know, just take care of me, and not take care of me. I think I'm good enough. I can take care of myself. But I wanted somebody who can understand my what's going on inside my head, because I'm an overthinker. I have got huge anxiety issues. So I felt he was a comfort. He was like a comfort pillow for me. It was my bad too that I was getting, you know, dependent on that kind of a feeling that I was getting from him. Um, but eventually I started to realize that he's taking me away from the smallest happiness that I used to get. So for example, I'll just give one example. So if let's say I want to eat or I want to drink cold coffee, I mean, he's very dominating. He was very dominating in a very subtle way. And me being a people pleaser, I couldn't really hurt his feelings, because I used to think, oh my God, he's getting me cold coffee, so I should be listening to him. But no, if I want to drink just the cold coffee, I'll drink just the cold coffee. I wouldn't drink or, eat food after cold coffee, or I wouldn't probably, I'm not sure how do I make you understand. If you love a person, or if you really care for a person, you can just do things for that person. You cannot want things in return from that person, or you cannot force your likes or dislikes on that person. I think I did say this a long time back, that I catch up on energies very quickly. I can understand the kind of a person they are. I can understand each and everything. I think he too had that quality in him, or a kind of a spiritual gift that he's developed over the time. So he did know few things, and he could read minds. Probably he could read my mind, because I was very gullible, or I was very out there. So my face talks, my eyes and my face talks more than I talk. So probably that's one of the reason why he could always understand what was going on inside my head. Any which ways, this was going on for quite some time. He used to keep me away from the guys in the office. He used to keep me away from sometimes even the girls in the office, which was quite weird. One fine day, so there's a colleague. He comes to me and says that, you know what, Mr. A is apparently with some other girl on the floor. And I was like, really? And I did go and confront it to him. So apparently the girl was feeding him with her own hands some gajar ka halwa, he said. I'm not sure what halwa. And then I confronted him about it, and he denied. So every time we had a fight, it was never quiet. It was never between us. He always had to make a big scene about it. He always had to, shout about it and make sure that other people are hearing. And whenever we used to have a fight, he used to make sure that while he was shouting, he is also manipulating the other people, the the third person, or even just the the roadside, whoever it is, whoever they are standing. कोई भी अगर खड़ा है ना, ऐसे वो बात करता था, ऐसे वो चिल्लाता था. It used to seem like he's trying to make them understand कि the fight is happening because of the girl and not because of him, which, if you do it once, it's understood. When you do it twice, it's understood. When you do it every time, sorry, I don't understand. It kept happening. I felt like breaking down, and I was all alone. So if you can imagine, I left my hometown, I left a place like Bangalore, and now I'm in a completely new city where I have nobody, and I just know that one guy. ऊपर से उसको भी मैं उतना अच्छे से पहचानती नहीं हूँ. I've known him for what, 2 months before I moved to Pune. I was completely alone. I was not allowed to make friends because he wanted 24/7 of my time. And the weirdest part was, एक लड़का, a girl and a guy, when you're a girlfriend and a boyfriend, apparently at least that's what he claimed, that he was my boyfriend. You like to have that physical touch, right? I mean, I don't know, I like that physical touch. I feel comforting, holding hands, just a small tap on the shoulder. He did not have that. I mean, I understand people have different love languages. Probably his love language was gifting. I was not happy with just the gifts. I wanted some kind of physical touch. I wanted just to make sure that he was there, but he was never there. He was not interested. He had a weird, I mean, I don't know what kind of a ego that was. Now when I think he was a man child, but not really sure. I was in the beginning, it was quite intriguing. I mean, I was interested in understanding his mentality, how it goes, how he thinks, but later on it's so annoying. I just realized that he'll do whatever the fuck he wants to do, and he just wants to keep every other guy, every other girl away from me, and he wants me to die alone, single, with him, with no with not the kind of love or not the kind of relation that I want. And somehow I got rid of the place. In between, I even got a panic attack in Pune because of all this stress. uh, I the job was really good. I feel sometimes sad when I think that I had to quit Tech M and come back to my hometown because of that one filthy guy. I mean, now when I think of it, I think at least I've got some good work done in my resume, so I don't really blame him. But I wasted 8 months of my time. People saw me with him, which is something that I don't like. I didn't want myself to be seen with him. Um, I didn't want my mom, I didn't want my sister, I didn't want my dad to know that I can date a guy like him. Give me a minute, I'm choking. Hi guys, I'm back, and here I've kept my Tekken bottle. Okay, another topic just came in my mind because I saw the bottle. I often felt he was also very selfish. So usually, ideally, what happens when you join an organization, they give you some goodies, right? So Tekim had given us two bottles. So this was the second one. The first one was, of course, taken away by Mr. A, and it was given to a worker over there when he had his bottle already in his hand, the new one, right? He was holding it. Considering he was a rehire, he should have in fact given his bottle to the worker if he really had to do social service. But again, as I said, I over time got to know that he was a selfish giant. That's what I had called him as well, before I parted ways with him. And I'm very happy that I've told him certain things and I've parted ways very happily. So yeah, he decided to take the bottle off my hand, and it was the first ever goodie that I received from TechM, I remember. But he decided to give my bottle to the worker, and again, I was put in a position where I couldn't take it back from him. Not that a bottle matters, but it's a goodie from the organization with the logo, so that really meant a lot. But he was again very selfish, so he did not understand the emotions behind that. The next time when it happens, he again tries to take the bottle. So this was the second bottle. It's a black color steel bottle where it's written Tech M, and the first one was a gray color bottle. Again, not that the bottle is important, but it's a memory. The second time when this bottle was given to us, he takes the bottle from my hand and he's about to do this something similar. When I take it back from his hand, and I told it to him that you're a rehire, you should have these goodies, two each, right? So why don't you give your gift to them if you really want to do social service? You know what was his reaction? Really, मुझे तो पता ही नहीं था तुमको बुरा लग जाएगा. अगर तुमको बुरा लगता तो तुमने मेरे को देने क्यों दिया? Like, really? Are you that dumb? I mean, I'm sorry because of using the word, but yeah, it is what it is. Is he that dumb that he didn't know I'd feel bad? Or is it not, I mean, not taught to him that you cannot really take somebody else's property and give it to somebody else? So over time, I've realized his eating habits, he used to, things that it's disgusting to me to even talk about, but I would still talk about it. We used to go for food, let's say for dinner, or I used to pay. Okay, let's assume I am paying the bill. So most of the times, I'll tell you what he used to do. He's a very clever man, right? So every time we used to get his salaries, he used to bring very cute gifts for me, right? Some 200, 300 bucks gifts, nothing more than that. Priciest gift that he had given me was a Lego, and it had costed him some 499 bucks. I remember that was the costliest gift that he had given me. Everything was below that budget, below that, that threshold. So every month, in the beginning of the month, he used to give me a certain gift, like for example an eyeliner, or let's say some lip liner or something like that, and he used to give it to me. The entire rest of the month, he used to survive on my money. I mean, dude, it's so cheap. I don't want to talk about it, but I'm still talking because I believe that if you're somebody like this who's not who don't know how to say no, I think you should really start acting on it, and you should start saying no. Stop being a people pleaser, because to be honest, nobody really cares. Nobody cares if you help them. They'll probably be happy, they'll probably be relieved for that period of time, but nobody is going to remember you. Please yourself. That's the best thing that anybody can do. So we used to go out for dinners, and whenever we used to go out, I mean, for example, we'll order some chicken rice, and he used to never order for two plates. So we used to live in the same PG. Even staying in the same PG, he used to never let me have a separate plate for myself. So he used to always have one plate, and he used to force me to eat from the same plate as him. So it was same even outside. When we were going outside, for example, we're going to a fancy restaurant, so the waiter in serving generally क्या होता है, वो plate आके दो ही plate देता है. So and he used to stop the person and say कि नहीं, बस एक ही plate चाहिए. But I wanted my separate, my own plate, right? What the fuck, dude? So he used to not allow, and eventually एक ही plate में खाना लेते थे. In the beginning, again, I was fine with whatever he was doing, but then it became a ritual for him to, take off my identity, live on my identity. He used to get a different kind of a stare when he was around me, but I've often noticed when he is alone, nobody really gives a damn. And he used to tell me that, uska kuch aura farming hai, kuch aura positive hai, this, that. But I always knew it was aura negative. For example, we are sharing one plate, and he used to not let the waiter serve the food. So he used to generally serve the food, which is fine because it's one plate, right? So he used to serve the food, and I'm usually a kind of a, like, I wouldn't call myself a slow eater, but when I'm outside, I usually like, and when I'm at a fancy place, I usually like to take my, time, and I want to enjoy the ambience. I want to enjoy the food. So I'm usually slow when I'm outside. He used to take advantage of that. Now I'm not sure if this is the same with everybody of you girls, but this is not the first time for me. All my past relationships have been the same. I'm not really sure why, but I've always faced this. um, I always was hungry. I was always hungry when I was with these past guys. I know it's very sad, and not that I was hungry all the time, because I made sure that I fed myself well, even after coming back from dinner or lunch, whatever. Even initially, I kept it aside, even though I was aware about the fact that I kind of, I don't know why, but I end up attracting guys who don't let me eat. I know that is funny, but it's not funny for me anymore. I'm still in shock. I'm still curious as in why this happens with me, but maybe I'll figure out someday, and that day I'll come back and I'll let you guys know why. So what happens is, this continues, and over time, um, when I realize that it is him being selfish. It's just him not letting me eat, and I don't know why he used to do that. And it kept on happening for the last 8 months. Well, I should have known it almost in Kolkata, because I remember my mum used to send me tiffin, and I'm just talking randomly. I know I mix up the sequence, and I'm sometimes talking about A, and then sometimes I talk about Z. So yeah, I just like the look over here, honestly. I can also try clicking some pictures maybe after I'm done. So, is it fine if I just let it be till here? Um, Probably, because it's gonna be a long video, and now that I look so good, I think I'll probably try clicking some pictures, and then I'll go back to sleep, because I need to wake up tomorrow. Since I'm at home, there's so much to do, guys. uh, there's so much to do. So there's invitations every day, there are parties every day, there are relatives, calling up and asking to meet. It is so difficult, trust me when I say that. And I honestly, I just ran from Pune. I wanted to just come back home, और मुझे बस रेस्ट करना था, मुझे बस घर पे रहना था, because I was so, I felt I have completely corrupted my mind, because I'm such a positive girl. I mean, the kind of I'm a very spiritual person. I'm a very, it's, I wouldn't say that I'm always having a very positive energy. I go demotivated most of the days. That's basic human nature, right? You cannot always motivate yourself. You cannot always give your 100%, and that is completely normal. But while I was in Pune, I could feel like, I'm not sure how to describe this. Hundreds of people just looking at me. I mean, why are you looking at me? There's something, right, that was very disturbing to me. There were things that was disturbing me. There were thoughts that was disturbing me. I often used to think, maybe the kind of insecurities I have, maybe because of my hair, maybe because of my body, maybe I'm not enough, maybe I'm not groomed enough for a place like that. But then it was not really it. I had seen people, when I walk into a room, when I walk into the floor, I would say in a floor, For example, I was working in the second floor. The second floor had almost easy 300 people, and all 300 people are looking at me. And the kind of stares I used to get, there were sometimes good, there were sometimes, of course, not all stares will be good. There'll be mixed mixed feelings that people will have. But I felt the kind of aura, or the kind of, I mean, you know what, when I was really good, when I was just alone. Over time, it's a very weird, it's a very creepy, annoying, I would say, it's a very tensed kind of a feeling. I'm not sure how to explain, because if I try to explain it more, probably I'll sound mad, because um, everything was really good, everything was good, but it's just the kind of ick, the kind of energy that I felt from him was not something that was helping me in the in a place like that. It was getting me mad. I was being creepy, I was being freaked out, and there were things about the place, the people. I started hating myself, I started hating um, everybody around me. I got a panic attack. I had to rush with my roommate to Manipal University, sorry, Manipal Hospital. I thought I'm having a stroke. I had to run, and I get to know that they had kept me under observation for almost 4 hours, and I get to know that it was a kind of a panic attack. So everything, a lot of stress, a lot of I don't know what to call it. Everything had corrupted my mind so much that I had to run away from that place, saving myself, I would say. So yes, um, that was it. I don't blame him entirely. I have learned a lot of things in this past 8 to 9. I wouldn't say 8 months, because before 8 months in Pune, I was in this organization in Kolkata, and I was working with that guy, particular guy. So it was a total span of probably a year that I know him. I would say taking risks is fine. You can take risk in your life. You can explore. You can, yeah. But then don't take your likes, your dislikes so lightly that you start putting yourself in the back, the backside, and you start prioritizing, you start giving importance to somebody else more than yourself. You shouldn't be doing that. That's what I did. It's okay, I I lost quite some time, but um, I never regret, I would say. But this is the first time in my life I regret meeting somebody. I regret going to Pune. I don't regret working in Techem. The phase that I went through was not something that I wish to go through again. So of course there'll always be a sweet regret, I would say. um, I've learned three things over the past few months. So if there's any girlies who are watching this video, I would suggest you three things to learn from this. Um, I know the story was very haphazard. It's just because it's the very first time that I'm trying to do a sit and talk video. It's a very chill video, and I'm not very used to this concept of looking at the camera and talking. So this was a first sit and talk video. I'm sure I'm gonna be much more organized in the second video when I'll be doing a sit and talk video. But the three things that I've learned is, first is, stop being a people pleaser. Nobody really cares. I think I've said that already in the video beforehand. The second would be, start saying no. Okay, start saying no, even if it's the smallest things. Give yourself more importance, because it's just you who's there for yourself. Trust me, nobody gives a damn about your sadness, about your grief, about your likes, about your dislikes. It's just you who's gonna be there for yourself and your family. So I would say, if you want to really please somebody, please yourself. Try to please your family. I'm sure there are fights, and I'm sure not everybody's family would be like mine. They have their own problems, but you try to recognize the ones that you can call, the ones that are there for you. It could be your husband, it could be your sister, it could be your um, one close friend. But for me, my mom, for me, my dad, for me, my sister, I fight with them like cats and dogs, but end of the day I realize that they are the ones who's going to be there for me, and I'm going to be there for them. So yeah, that was the second thing. The third thing was communication is the key. And fortunately or unfortunately, there are few things that I've learned from that guy. I wouldn't say there was nothing to learn from him. There was indeed, and I take my relationships as a learning always. It was a very brief period of time for me and that guy. um, well, I have never really considered him as a long term. It was never there in my mind because I've never really loved him. So I'm not sure if he's listening to this video. Even if he does, I don't care, because that was the last thing that I've mentioned to him before leaving, that I never really loved you. But yeah, there was one thing that I learned from him, and I took it on a good note, that communication is the key, even if it's a very small thing, right? Even if it's, I mean, if it's a big thing, absolutely you're supposed to communicate with your loved ones. If you're angry at somebody, if you're angry at your loved ones, if you are in love with somebody, if there's a miscommunication, and most of the times relationships gets done with because of no communication. Try to communicate and make it work, because I believe right now that communication is the key. A proper comms should be there. This video, I'm not sure how organized I was, but yeah, that's it, guys. My journey from Bangalore, why did I come back to Kolkata, and from Kolkata to Pune, and in a very short period again back to Kolkata. So yeah, there was a lot of things. I believe whatever happened was for the good. It was a very short period of time that I had to be with him, and it was written in the stars, I'm sure. I wish him all the good luck. I don't mean bad for anybody, but you should be staying away from me if you're listening to this video. If you come across this video anytime, stay away from me. But lots of good luck to you, and that's it, guys. See you guys in some other sit and talk with me video. I'm so happy that I could finally do this. I know, again, it was very unorganized, it was all over the place, but I'm sure I at least could do something that I wanted to do from such a long time. Finally, I'll be editing this video and I'll be putting this tomorrow. And do let me know what you guys want to know, and probably I can start from the first heartbreak. This was the last one, I'm sure. Now, there's a very good tea that I want to give to you guys, and it's one of the lovely times that I had. I'm not sure if I want to give it up so soon. But yes, probably after I talk about all the heartbreaks, I'll be coming back to that one incident in my life. I'm sorry about the video quality if it was not good enough. I'm sure the voice was much better because of the wired mic. That's all from my end, guys. You guys have a lovely night. I'm really tired. I need to go get some sleep, and I'll see you guys next time with another talk show. Till then, take care, and till then, you guys should definitely like, share, subscribe. Bye.
All my time I'm waiting you to